Hi there, and welcome to Global Storm Outlook, and we're going to be looking at Tropical Cyclone Harold down here near Vanuatu, and various other things from around the globe. Let's check out Australia, Oceania, and the big story is a Tropical Cyclone Harold over here. You can see it spiraling up quite nicely now. And that has formed south of the Solomon Islands here, and it's heading towards Vanuatu. Is that all Vanuatu? I'm not sure. I'll have to check the map. Down here is New Caledonia, and I believe it's going to go something like that. Let's check. This is the Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecast for Harold, and it comes down, takes this turn around here. It's becoming hurricane intensity on the 4th, and reaching 80 knots according to their forecast. Let's check the models in a second. But then it takes that turn and it comes and sort of tucks between these two islands. I don't know what these islands are, and let's check that too. But in any case, that is a category 1 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Well, there's already a problem because the Global Forecasting System model shows the storm intensifying, Harold intensifying, and then it comes down, and then it tucks around into these islands, and you can see that that's actually significantly further south than where the JTWC had it coming through the islands. It is 963, so the intensity is probably not too far off, although whether that's a category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson, that would be my guess. European Center model also takes it just slightly more to the north of the GFS, but it is still south of where the JTWC have it. So it's clear this is going to impact Vanuatu, and but the question is where. It could be anywhere down these islands, depending on where the storm makes its turn. So definitely one to keep an eye on. Harold is intensifying. It's in a very favorable environment. There is not strong wind shear. There are very warm sea surface temperatures. Prepare for the possibility of major hurricane strength. Tropical cyclone is conceivable here, even though they're holding back on the intensity at the moment. Often these are underestimated at this stage because when rapid intensification occurs, it tends to jump the intensity up. So yeah, I'd be very highly watching this very carefully and hope that the intensity holds down, but ultimately prepare for the possibility of major hurricane strength tropical cyclone impacting these islands, and hopefully it won't. The cold blast we were looking at in the previous video in the Mediterranean can be seen here on April 1st, and these are the temperature differences from normal, and the cold temperatures being these purples are 10 to 20 degrees below normal in southern Italy and into Greece and the Balkans, and that caused damage to vineyards and orchards. The other thing we were looking at was that crazy dust storm over the Aral Sea, which then moved over, and here it's seen over the Black Sea. You can see the dust, and that's on March 26th. So going forward, then that dust actually moved across southern Europe and became fainter and more dispersed, but actually affected air quality, and I think even into southern France. Looking ahead for Europe, you can see the unseasonably cold and snowy conditions across Scandinavia and even some snow into Scotland. But I want to keep an eye out down here on Greece, because there's a developing depression or a low pressure system over here that moves in, and then watch the rain in Greece, because it becomes focused over the mountains, maintains, and becomes very heavy, and it lasts for a long period of time before moving into Turkey. So I think it's worth looking at the totals there, because that looks like a big anchoring event and may be producing quite large amounts of rain, flooding rain. And here we have the total accumulated precipitation, and for Greece it's mostly rain, apart from on the highest mountains, I guess. But anyway, as we go forward, watch out. This is Saturday, and then into Sunday it's picking up, and this is up to over 50 millimeters over the eastern coast, and it's the eastern coast of main sort of Greece area. Continues to pick up, and you've got what looks like anchored rain persistent over a long period and getting up to over 200 millimeters, it looks like. And that is definitely flood potential for eastern Greece over this period, and that lasts for most of the first half of the week, in fact most of the week in general. So that is quite a significant wet period and flooding period. The other thing that's going to be happening with that low pressure is it's going to be picking up a lot of dust from the Sahara and bringing that up over Libya and then into Greece, where we know that there's going to be all that heavy rain. So, you know, I wonder whether this could be bringing that sort of red rain or something like that, because there's a lot of dust that's going to be in that anchored rain. Overall, temperature-wise, things are transitioning from cold to much warmer conditions over most of Europe. In fact, really warm, potentially, for this time of year for a while. It looks like over France and Germany, there we're showing Wednesday, and that is about 10 degrees above normal across most of northern mainland Europe. So if the virus doesn't like warm conditions, hopefully that will be some relief to the big hitters in terms of deaths for COVID-19. We've got Spain, France, Italy, UK, Belgium, Germany, Netherlands, and the list goes on. Algeria and other northern African countries like Libya and Tunisia are also showing some pretty rapidly rising coronavirus cases. That low pressure system that is heading towards Greece is also going to be affecting these countries, bringing rain into Algeria as it's doing right now, but then afterwards bringing down some cooler conditions. A tropical cyclone has formed in the southern Indian Ocean, far off to the east of Africa actually, but it has developed and is possibly even got a little bit of a eye beginning to try and develop. It is forecast to become hurricane strength by the Joint Typhoon Warning Center, but just category 1 by the looks of things. But anyway, it's not really affecting any land. Over North America, there's been some pretty vigorous low pressure development off the east coast and into the Atlantic. In the meantime, we've got thunderstorms, and they're beginning to pick up in Texas. I think that's continuing over the weekend. Let's take a quick look at that. But the thing is that this is now, we're getting into April, and this is a pretty good time for thunderstorms in the southern plains when the jet is coming down and tucking into the Gulf moisture coming up. Yeah, it looks like as things get going today, actually, is the main day, and then after that not so much. They've got a slight risk up for Texas, which means, well, slight risks mean good chance of decent storms, but I think the tornado risk is pretty low. Wind and hail being more possible in these storms. And that'll be later today in the afternoon, I presume. Over India, it looks like there has been some shower and possible thunderstorm activity in the evenings over the last few days. This is the 1st of April, and looking at the evening, you get these beautiful views from Himawari 8. They're available at the website himawari.asia. Check it out. And then let's look at the 2nd of April. I think it's a similar story, and yeah, we've got some really nice, wow, look at that, fantastic. Along the coast, individual thunderstorms. And because it's at this tilted angle, you get to see the shadow of the sun coming off underneath the storms. Wow, look at that. That is really fantastic. Wow. Yeah, so thunderstorm, anvil, shadow, sunset shadow. At the end of the last outlook, several days ago now, we were looking at a developing system that was predicted in the models off the east coast of South America, and well, look at it, there it is. You can see the curling cloud into this lovely east coast storm, And it has been bringing heavy rain, I think, into Uruguay, and then the band is coming down here. But generally, at this point, it's probably just bringing in a bunch of surf. Meanwhile, thunderstorms and the usual stuff and whatnot up here in Bolivia and Peru.